Today, it is my unique privilege to recommit myself to the service of this great country of great people with profound diversities and opportunities.
As Nigeria marks 60 years of independence, President Muhammadu Buhari reflects on the state of the nation, calls for ethical and high moral values. 60 years of nationhood calls for celebration, says Mr. President on Nigeria at 60.
You cannot belittle our achievements as a nation and as a people and expect greatness.
Nigerians reflect on the nation's diamond anniversary. Hello, it's a great day for us here in Nigeria. Congratulations for reaching the diamond age. I'm Joseph Johnson. This is NTA Network News, reaching you live in Abuja. Ingunu is in Lagos and Mohammed in Maiduguri for the news tonight. Let's begin by telling you that President Muhammadu Buhari says the foundation for a prosperous future being laid for Nigeria by his administration can only be sustainable if the citizenry bury their differences and work together towards resolving the critical challenges that underlie the present state of the nation. In a nationwide address marking the 60th anniversary of the country, the president reminds Nigerians that the country neither belongs to him nor any ruling or opposition political party, but for all of them. He therefore stressed the need for collective commitment towards making the giant of Africa better, greater and desirable. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Today, it is my unique privilege to recommit myself to the service of this great country of great people with profound diversities and opportunities.
Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary is also an opportunity for President Muhammadu Buhari to renew his appreciation to Nigerians for entrusting him with their hopes and aspirations.
I want to re-emphasize my dedication and commitment that propelled my public service career and informed my quest to continually seek for an opportunity to improve the lives of Nigerians, set the country on the path of prosperity, and lead the country to a better future. This administration has been focused on rebuilding and laying the foundations for a sustainable Nigeria.
The president said he is not unmindful of the fact that the nation's economy, along with every single economy in the world, is in crisis. Challenges of security still persist while the society suffers from what he called high loss of moral rectitude driven by unbridled craving for political power. One underlying cause of the problems bedeviling the country, he said, is the consistent harping on artificially contrived fault lines harbored by the people and allowed to fester.
We need to begin a sincere process of national healing, and this anniversary presents a genuine opportunity. I am convinced that if we pursue our aspirations together, we would be able to achieve whatever we desire. Together, we can change our condition for the better, and more importantly, together we can do much more for ourselves and for our country.
He said Nigerians must focus their minds on evolving and sustaining a democratic culture that leaves power in their hands, demanding accountability of elected representatives, imbibing tolerance in diversity, and increasing their commitment to peaceful coexistence in a secure and united Nigeria. President Buhari said apart from grappling the dual challenge of saving lives and livelihoods in the face of drastically reduced resources, his administration in the last 3 years introduced unprecedented measures in support of the economy and indeed the weakest members of the society.
No government in the past did what we are doing with such scarce resources. We have managed to keep things going in spite of the disproportionate spending on security. Those in the previous government from 1999 to 2015 who presided over the near destruction of the country have now the impudence to attempt to criticize our efforts.
The president used the opportunity to reaffirm his commitment towards bequeathing to Nigeria processes and procedures that will guarantee the sanctity of the ballot box, as demonstrated in the recent build-up and eventual outcome of the governorship election in Edo State.
I am a firm believer in transparent, free, fair, and credible elections. The problems with our electoral process is mainly human-induced, as desperate desire for power leads to desperate attempts to gain power and office. Democracy, the world over, and as I am pursuing in Nigeria, recognizes the power of the people. However, if some constituencies choose to bargain off their power, they should be prepared for denial of their rights.
President Muhammadu Buhari said as a responsible government, his administration will continue to face realities and take tough decisions towards guaranteeing a strong, indivisible nation united in hope and equal in opportunity. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, activities marking Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary came to a climax this Thursday with military parade, cultural display and signing of the anniversary register by President Muhammadu Buhari. The ceremony, held at the Eagle Square in Abuja, was attended by dignitaries from the legislature, the judiciary and the diplomatic corps. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has more.
Arms laid to rest as the Guards Brigade form human fortress in protection of Nigerian children. And the children play in the circle where there is peace and stability. The march through 60 years of independence began slowly, but bursted into fast developmental achievements, especially as it relates to its armed forces. The nation's armed forces have displayed and continue to show strength against internal and external aggressions. Though, in some views, the nation is not yet where it should be. Greater number of them are of the view that development comes on the basis of peace and stability and the commitment of the people.
You cannot belittle our achievements as a nation and as a people and expect greatness. It's what you say that you get. That is the truth about it. So the place of patriotism is essentially important. And we are leaders at different levels in which we find ourselves. What are you doing in your small corner will determine how patriotic you are.
President Muhammadu Buhari, in his speeches, has often emphasized the need for the people to work together with focus on unity, peace, and progress. And this is the theme of the Diamond Anniversary. We have seen it on display here, how civilians could work hand in hand with the nation's armed forces in order to protect the people, to protect the country. And as the theme of this anniversary goes, together and together we shall remain one. From the Eagle Square in Abuja, it's Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Thank you, Jide, and very beautiful pictures there. Well, as Nigerians, including public commentators, reflect on the country's journey to nationhood over the past 60 years, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on the youth not to succumb to the challenges confronting the nation, noting that young Nigerians hold the key to a more united, peaceful and prosperous nation. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo also expressed disagreement on comments reflective of a bleak view of Nigeria's history, noting that despite the onerous challenges Nigerians have endured as a people, and there is still so much that should give reason to face the future with hope, The Vice President made the remarks Thursday at the virtual edition of the NASFAT Global Youth Seminar themed a unified, peaceful and prosperous Nigeria on overcoming the challenges confronting the nation. Vice President Oshibajo said the youth capacity for innovation would come in handy in an era of scarcity and unequal distribution of resources, while recalling efforts made in the past to promote unity among Nigerians and progress across different sectors of the economy. The Vice President said Nigerians must not relent in striving for a progressive and united country. Vice President Oshibajo urged those who desire a united, peaceful and prosperous Nigeria to confront the everyday injustices that mock aspirations and erode confidence in a shared future. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, Laulu Akonde, in a press release stated that the event featured presentations by prominent Islamic scholars. And for the Nigeria's governing party, the All Progressives Congress, 60 years of nationhood indeed calls for celebration. Saliu Abdullahi was at the Eagle Square venue of the celebration, where he spoke with a cross-section of Nigerians on the exciting moments.
6 decades of independence, the Eagle Square played host to Nigerians and friends of Nigeria from across the world. The likes of Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, have memories to share about the origin of a day like this, having witnessed Nigeria's independence in 1960.
It's delighting and very, very heartwarming that this 60th birthday of Nigeria happens at the time when APC is in power. In the face of what is happening, we are determined to continue to strive to make Nigeria better.
In the case of Rukaya Ahmed Dambazau, she's 6 and Nigeria is 60. She may not have the experience like Colonel Hamid Ali age-wise, but shares something common with the country this day. That is the figure 6.
I want to rejoice President Muhammadu Buhari and Nigerians, and I'm happy that they are 60.
What do you want to tell Nigerian children?
I want to tell them that they should work hard and they should be reading every day so that they can be something they want to achieve in life.
Rukaya's vision for Nigeria was equally shared by some Nigerians.
With the cooperation of the masses, with the cooperation of the people of this country, we will be able to put Nigeria in the right position as a leader in the continent and one of the leaders in the world.
I think the President, Muhammadu Buhari, and the party are looking for ways to make sure that we lay down an infrastructure and foundation that would last for the next 60 years again.
I wish Nigeria well.
They say Nigeria's unity in diversity is non-negotiable, as a veritable platform is available, giving hope for the likes of Colonel Hamid Ali and Rukaya Dambazau to fulfill their dreams in life. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In the meantime, as Nigeria clocks 60, congratulatory messages have been pouring in, encouraging Nigerians to believe in the Nigeria project and to shun vices capable of tarnishing the Nigeria brand. Elizabeth Omori compiled some of the messages.
Of the Senate in a statement says the Diamond Jubilee anniversary of Nigeria as a sovereign nation calls for a sober reflection on the progress made, the challenges, and the desired future as a nation. He advised Nigerians not to allow unnecessary magnification of the nation's teething problems by some people to shake their faith in the great destiny of the country. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, congratulates Nigerians for witnessing the country's 60th independence anniversary. In his goodwill message to Nigerians, the Speaker paid glowing tributes to Nigeria's heroes who made sacrifices for the country to become what it is today. Similarly, the Auditor General of the Federation also felicitates with President Muhammadu Buhari and the leadership of the National Assembly on the occasion of the 60th independence anniversary of Nigeria. The Auditor General commended the President's drive to entrench transparency and accountability for good governance. In the same vein, the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Organized Labour in Nigeria wish to congratulate Nigerian workers and government on the occasion of Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary, urging Nigerians to renew their faith through fairness and justice. Still on messages, members of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria congratulates Nigerians on the occasion of a 60th independence anniversary, calling on Nigerians to continue to trust in God for the desired transformation and eschew every form of corruption and indiscipline. And the National Orientation Agency says remaining united is key in order to forge a clear path for a better Nigeria. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
India has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari and the government and people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the country's 60th independence anniversary. A letter from the President of India, Ram Nath Kovind, to the Nigerian leader noted that India and Nigeria have always enjoyed close and friendly relations that is age-old, deep-rooted and multidimensional. He thanked President Buhari for Nigeria's assistance extended in the repatriation of Indian citizens in Nigeria in the wake of COVID-19 and looked forward to further strengthening of the highly beneficial bilateral ties. The Indian president also wished President Buhari good health, well-being, as well as continued progress and prosperity of the friendly people of Nigeria. As Nigerians celebrate the country at 60, the importance of the Nigerian flag as a national symbol lies in the fact that each color represents the country's rich cultural heritage. Joy Ilegbo in this report traces the history and facts about the Nigerian flag.
Green, white, green.
And what does it mean?
Green stands for agriculture, white stands for peace and unity.
When I see the flag, I stand still and obey the national anthem.
The history of the Nigerian flag, one of the nation's national identity, dates back to 1959, when it was designed by Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi and officially adopted and hoisted on the 1st of October 1960, when Nigeria gained her independence. Similar to most countries, the Nigerian flag features 3 vertical stripes of specific colors of green, white, and green with definite meanings.
The white there represents peace. The green there represents agricultural sufficiency.
Those are the basic message that our flag, is supposed to, pass across to us.
For many Nigerians, the flag illustrates the history, vision, and ambitions of the Nigerian people, and so should be flown high at all times as a sign of ultimate respect.
Nigerians need to clearly have that mindset that totally embrace that identity, that green, white, green, and who we represent should be clearly synonymous with whatever we do as a nation.
Despite knowing the meaning behind the colors of the national flag, research shows that 60 years down the line, many Nigerians today are still ignorant of some facts about the Nigerian flag.
Some people get pieces of cloth here and there and sew them together. You don't sew the flag, you paint the flag. In other cases, you may find some offices displaying this kind of flags with frills or coat of arms at the center. No, those are ceremonial flags. And on a regular routine, it must be hoisted at 6 a.m. in the morning and brought down at 6 p.m. in the evening.
In Oka, Joy Ilegbo, NTA News.
Now, as the years roll by, 60 years and counting, patriots who contributed to nationhood may just be part of history books for generations unborn. It is therefore pertinent to showcase those still alive when needs be. One of such is Pa Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi, who conceived the iconic green and white flag of the country. NTA Ibadan news crew was at his residence on the occasion of Nigeria's Diamond Independence Anniversary and captured his thoughts.
The concept of the Nigerian flag, like those of other nations, was created by a person gifted with an hindsight to project the ethos of the nation. To mark Nigeria's 60th Independence Day, a visit to the person who designed Nigeria's flag may just be the appropriate thing to do. At 84, Pataiwo Akinkunmi, the creator of the nation's flag, is living a quiet life with his children at the suburbs of Ibadan. Try as much as he could to recollect how the vision of Green and White came, he still couldn't believe it's been 60 years already.
I presented something the country wanted to use as the flag useful anywhere in the nation.
If someone should ask me of my name, but I'm Akinkunmi. It just, who is Akinkunmi? Is it the one that designed the Nigerian flag? Yes. It's always a thing of joy. I'm proud to bear the name.
For Pa Akinkunmi, parting words are those of humility. To him, creating an identity for the nation has been a rare privilege he will cherish for as long as he lives.
Pataiwo Akinkunmi, an icon. Let's take some messages. Stay with us. You're still watching NTA Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. Still staying with Nigeria's independence anniversary. And for more on how Nigerians celebrate the unique anniversary, Jumai Yusuf packaged some reports from states with messages of hope, unity and prosperity.
The nation is indeed in the mood to look at the past, the present and the future, as Nigeria opens another chapter in her journey to the promised land. Yunusa Suleiman reports that people in Yobe State are emphatic that the antecedents to Nigeria's 60th anniversary was eventful as the country metamorphosed to a more united, promising and prosperous one.
Nobody believes we will reach this stage. The first step is to have stayed together for 60 years. This is big achievement. Celebration in Abeokuta, though low-keyed, include colorful display of military parade and cultural presentation. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun called for more patience in the face of daunting challenges affecting the country.
We must also accept that development is a process. We must also know that the process has a cost. We will have to make painful but necessary decisions.
Meanwhile, Abdullahi Mustafa in Kano reports that Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje says Nigerians must continue to live in peace and love for one another to achieve the desire for building a strong economy.
We all need one another to survive, as no part of Nigeria can do it all alone.
Umar Basi Edit in Calabar reports that the message centered on making Nigerians to inculcate the right attitude as reflected in the national pledge. In the meantime, Benue State government organized a special anniversary prayer for continuous unity and development of Nigeria. Charles Abba reports that Governor Samuel Ortum at the interdenominational service in Makudi appealed to leaders to be resolute in delivering good governance.
We must come together as a people.
And from Kebbi State, Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu appealed for reflections on the struggle and interests of the founding fathers for a prosperous and indivisible nation.
We are generating partnerships that are working.
In the broadcast, Governor Bagudu urged the farming communities of the state not to be distracted by recent flood disaster, but remain focused with initiative to recover the lost produce.
As Nigerians celebrate 60 years of self-rule, do we make time to remember that indigenous members of parliament under the then British colonial administration were instrumental in making this wish a reality? Well, in this report, Lamiali takes a look at the legislative arm of government at post-independence.
Nigeria's quest for independence was kick-started in parliaments when a motion to that effect was first moved in 1953 by Chief Anthony Enahoro. Though unsuccessful at this attempt, the persistence of Nigerian parliamentarians led to the approval by the British Colonial Authority, granting Nigeria self-rule from October 1, 1960. The hope of sustaining its agenda-setting posture was cut short following military incursions as the legislature becomes a casualty under military rule due to suspension of its activities. The last 20 years of uninterrupted democratic governance has allowed this arm of government to be visible and to establish its relevance in the polity.
Impunity, where people who hold state power run riots, exercising powers to their own benefit and to the detriment of the citizens. If you do have a legislature that holds people to account, that is itself equipped to do so and is itself accountable, then it means a lot of the misuse of public funds.
Basically what we have in terms of value addition or in terms of capacity building on the part of our members of the legislature is something that is progressively going very well.
To further improve the skills and capacity of lawmakers in checkmating the excesses of the executive, institutions like the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies were established.
We have undertaken a lot of training, both in-house training within the country and even outside the country. We have exposed Nigerian parliamentarians to the best practices across the globe.
One major challenge of the legislature is correcting misconception within some sections of the public concerning its image and function in governance, while the promotion of discourse on key national issues in a diverse society is essential in arriving at a compromise seen to have accommodated all interests. The National Assembly, as the largest body in representative democracy, is the ship that will navigate us through uncharted waters in our national journey. Lami Ali, NTA News.
And Nigeria's journey after 60 years of political independence has put the nation on a steady path for sustainable progress despite avoidable challenges and socio-political differences on its path to attaining nationhood. These were the views of some Nigerians as the country celebrates its diamond age since attainment of self-rule. Abubakar Usman Akwanga has more.
The history of Nigeria is a collective cycle that reflects on the strength and courage of its foundation fathers through sacrifices for the promising future that is yet to attain. Segun Adebumi and Sani Jaji, both serving and former members of House of Representatives, say the survival of Nigeria at 60 has proven that the nation is inseparable and should exist under one roof of brotherhood, selflessness and devotion to economic prosperity, social harmony and political stability of the country.
It is our collective responsibility, directly or indirectly, if you're a politician or you're an elite, try as much as you can to see that which way that you can assist in the unity of this country.
Consolidation is what we need. There are a lot of abandoned projects all over the land. But which one is of more economic importance to this nation? Like Second Niger Bridge. You can see how economic importance of that project to this country. Like the railway projects.
The members appealed to Nigerians to embrace one another and champion positive aspirations required to complete the cycle of a nationhood. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Nigeria's independence was celebrated by Nigerians in various ways. The Ruzu Herbal Products and Services Limited celebrated the day with youth by embarking on health awareness walk across major streets in Abuja and the suburb. Basi Taikbang reports that the awareness walk was done simultaneously in 6 states of the Federation.
Yes, that is the mode of the celebration. After the dance, it was time for the youth to move round, educating Nigerians on the need to turn to nature for a healthy living. At dawn in green, white, green, the awareness walk took the people beyond Abuja city to Kubwa and Mararaba with a simple message that health is wealth. Ruzu product, they claim, are 100% natural.
We have done a lot of work. It took us over 7 years to do a research work on this product called Ruzu Herbal Bitters. And the science behind this is amazing. We talk about toxicity tests. All these are what we have done in making sure that when you take Ruzu, it is safe for consumption.
It is a product that has gone a different way this time around. In those days, we believe that traditional medicine has no measurement. We have measurement and different medicine for different ailments.
The celebration, they say, coincides with the 10 years of providing traditional medicine remedies to Nigerians and beyond.
Where we are today is because of the impact which Nigerians have given to us as an indigenous manufacturing herbal product in Nigeria, who make us to understand that when you are doing the right thing, there are so many Nigerians who can help you to push it.
The ceremony also took place in Lagos, Delta, Rivers, Imo, Anambra, and Edo states. Basi Taipang, NTA News.
For more on Nigeria's independence, particularly the living legends, let's join Hingunu in Lagos. Hingunu.
Joseph, happy Independence Anniversary, Nigeria. Nigerians have every reason to celebrate the nation's 60th independence anniversary, especially with the successes recorded in her fight against disunity, COVID-19, and other daunting challenges the nation is grappling with. Annie Daniels reports that these were the submissions of a cross-section of Lagosians as they celebrate the day amid COVID-19 pandemic.
Roads are traffic-free and the people are celebrating Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary, though on a low key.
We got here from Ikorodu within 45 minutes.
Last year, people were wearing white and green. They were going to many places, partying. But due to this coronavirus thing, people are no longer going everywhere.
That doesn't erase the essence and joy of the day.
Happy birthday, Nigeria! We love you! And we hope for the best.
Our freedom is so sweet for us to celebrate.
Other respondents advised that Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary should be an opportunity to ponder on the dreams of the nation's founding fathers, promote unity in diversity, and focus more on those things that unite the nation.
We need to encourage ourselves about our culture, our fashion. Our fashion needs to talk about us. This is Nigeria. This is what they are.
We must respect our leaders. Culture, tradition, especially our elders.
You as an individual, what do you have to give to the table? What do you have to offer to your country?
All our respondents agree that there is really reasons for Nigerians to celebrate on this day, especially in the face of COVID-19 that has ravaged the world. And for Lagos roads, they remain free and devoid of the usual traffic Lagos is known for. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And for the Nigerian national anthem, the labor of our heroes past completes the lyrics. This is due to the fact that the founding fathers of the nation left a legacy of greatness for generations to draw inspiration from. The significant impact they made will be analyzed in this package.
Lagos Racecourse is the scene, and it's the afternoon of Nigeria's great day, with thousands awaiting the climax and resolved to relish every minute leading up to it.
In Nigeria's history, there are significant individuals who put in efforts to ensure an independent nation. Great icons like Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, Anthony Anahoro, among others, are heroes Nigerians hold in high esteem.
The founding fathers established good governance. We criticized them. I was a critic of Balewa's government, a young critic. But all the same, they did lay some foundation. We've got to be honest about that. They established education, free education, by Awo. He was the leader in that field, quickly followed by Zik. But to move on, to be something, to be a country, a leading country.
These Nigerian heroes who remain on a pedestal for their leadership qualities, which reflected in their pursuit of human rights, equality, justice, and economic growth.
Some of them paid the supreme sacrifice. I'm talking of even traditional rulers who challenged the monopoly of coastal trade, who were deposed and banished or exiled, were banished to some remote islands in the Caribbean.
It was to immortalize these national heroes that their names were forever tagged to national monuments like airports, institutions of learning, national complexes, stadia, and roads.
The history of colonialism has to be taught in our schools so that our young men and women can be motivated by those who made huge sacrifice towards the independence of Nigeria.
It is impossible to talk Independence Day without the mention of these heroes. Nigerians yet unborn will remain grateful and proud of the contributions of the nation's founding fathers. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
We now take a break. The news will be back after that with Mohammed in Maiduguri.
In Maiduguri, and we begin with Nigeria's independence. In the face of social differences, economic challenges, and conflicts at different times of the nation's history, Nigeria still exists 60 years after its founding fathers fought for its independence and is continuing to make indelible marks among the community of sovereign states. This is part of submissions by citizens in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, who spoke to NTA News on Nigeria's 60 years of nationhood and factors to consider for a great leap forward in all facets of development. The report. For some, 60 years is the age of retirement from the civil service, but it is not applicable, others say, for Nigeria, seen as a young country marking its diamond jubilee since independence from Great Britain.
The greater challenge that we have as a nation is insecurity, because even corruption and what have you have now given way to insecurity.
There is need for the government of the day to do a rethink of trying to bring all stakeholders on table to see how best we can discuss this issue of peace in our country, in Nigeria.
Nigeria is doing well. Any country can get problems, but they're getting over their problems. But what I will plead with the government is to consider the poor masses, because hardship is too much.
Others who spoke to NTA News say the challenges of good leaders that have transformational visions are key to keeping track with contributions of the country's founding fathers, as well as promoting accountability, social justice, and transparency.
Based on the policy and the constitution, Nigeria will do better. And our leaders too, they should be up and doing. Whatever they have promised Nigeria, they should be able to do it.
Nigerians also share the belief that for the country to regain its past glory, government, politicians, and people should work on improvement of security, discard geo-ethnic politics, and promote unity for the benefit of all. On to security, Nigerian Governors Forum has called for sustained commitment by security formations and involvement of local communities in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations. The forum made the call through the chairman, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, during a sympathy visit to the government and people of Borno State over terror attack on Governor Zulum's convoy along Monguno-Baga Road. Mohamed Goni reports that the forum donated 100 million naira to families of the fallen heroes and other citizens affected by the incident.
The delegation of the Nigeria Governors Forum, led by its chairman, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, also include the governor of Kebbi State, that of Sokoto, as well as Plateau State governors. The forum's chairman, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, said they were at the government house Maiduguri on behalf of their colleagues to commiserate with and show solidarity to government and people of the state over attacks on Governor Zulum's convoy, killing of security operatives and other citizens, and to show Professor Zulum that he is not alone in the committed efforts to end the insurgency.
I think the federal government should be doing everything to help the resettlement and rehabilitation of the innocent citizens that have been internally displaced.
Governor Wagana Umara appreciated his colleagues for the sympathy visit and continued support of the Nigeria Governors Forum to the people of the state.
I'm so much aware of your concern. Inshallah, I shall heed to your own advice that I shall be so much careful. But again, we shall not be deterred from our renewed vigor of reducing the insurgency.
He also highlighted the number of IDPs spread across the state and the need to resettle them in their ancestral homes to enable them return to farming activities and other means of livelihood. Meanwhile, Yobe State Governor and National Caretaker Committee Chairman Mai Malabuni has commiserated with Governor Babagana Umara over the recent attack on his convoy. Mai Malabuni had, while sympathizing with Professor Babagana Umara, noted his passion and commitment to resettle IDPs in their original communities. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Those are the stories from this zone as I hand you over to Joseph in Abuja. Happy Independence.
Thank you, Mohammed, from our Maiduguri Network Center there. As Nigerians and Nigeria celebrate 60 years of independence, Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III says it is an important moment for all citizens to reflect, reunite and forge ahead together in the task of nation building with utmost patriotism.
Ahead will still be full of great challenges, but with dedication, with patriotism, with the will to win, to succeed, and with the fear of Almighty Allah from all of us, we shall, inshallah, reach a very developed state that is befitting our great country, Nigeria.
Old age is not a disease or disadvantage, but a blessing and a season of life we all aspire to attain is one fact many will agree with. Oktoberfest every year is set aside to celebrate older persons, to highlight the role of the healthcare workforce in contributing to the health of older persons with the theme, Pandemics, Do They Change How We Address Aged and aging, I should say. Ruth Agwele has more.
Luka Ashigihuo has witnessed 7 decades on Earth and still counting. As a retired public health officer, his lifestyle and staying healthy is very crucial to him because he is conscious of the fact that old age comes with health challenges.
Of course, there is this, what do you call them, debilitating ailments associated with age. Well, this I'm battling with, but I thank God that I still can be able to do things. The degree at which many lives have been lost because of these terrible diseases is alarming.
The 2020 International Day of Older Persons aims to improve awareness of the role of healthcare workforce in maintaining and improving the health of older persons. It also intends to increase understanding of the impact of COVID-19 on older persons.
Because of the efforts that the nurses and the medical people have made this year to save the lives of many older persons, there is therefore the need for Nigeria to recognize that they do not have insufficient medical people to look after the aging population.
To fill the gap in medical care of an estimated 14 million population of older persons in Nigeria, Hawa Umar Jibrin is doing her bit as she caters for the well-being of older persons.
It's a capital-intensive project. You are getting them a home. You are also getting them to be looked after by caregivers. You also want the medical aspect of it. We need special hospitals or special department in the hospital where once we get there, if you're an elderly person, you will just go in there and then you'll be taken care of.
Dangakura at 80 still goes to the farm. He is grateful for the intervention of Hawa in taking care of him, which has spurred him to keep living his dream. As the world celebrates older persons, this group of persons are advised to take precautions on their health so that just like fine wine, the older they get, the sweeter life becomes for them. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
The Court of Appeal in Abuja has declared the recruitment of 10,000 constables by the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, in 2019 as illegal, null and void. The three-man panel of the Court of Appeal led by Justice Olabisi Ige in a unanimous decision held that the IGP lacked power to recruit constables for the police force. In his lead judgment, Justice Ige upheld the Police Service Commission's case by resolving the entire issues raised. The court further held that the power to carry out the recruitment was exclusively that of the Commission. The judgment upturned the December 2, 2019 verdict of the Federal High Court, Abuja, which had validated the power of the IGP to proceed with the recruitment of 10,000 police in 2019. The Commission had filed the suit asking the Federal High Court to nullify the recruitment exercise by the Nigeria Police Force and the IGP on the grounds that the Commission is the body vested with the exclusive power to carry out recruitment, but the court had dismissed the suit for lacking in merit. The former Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information, Conus Grace Isu-Gekbe, has been described as a woman who contributed immensely to public service in the country. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this at a valedictory session held on her behalf as she bowed out of service. Anthony Forson reports.
35 years of active service and rising to the position of a permanent secretary is no mean feat for a public servant. It is in line with this that the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed described Deaconess Grace Isu-Gekwe, his retiring permanent secretary, as a dedicated and focused public servant who, from the start of her career in public service, displayed a high sense of diligence and commitment, an attitude he identified in her in his over 5 years as Minister of Information and Culture.
We've worked together for more than 3 years, and I can't remember me and her having a disagreement that has lasted more than 12 hours. I can't remember.
Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, equally spoke glowingly about Deaconess Grace Isu-Gekwe.
This is just the end of a chapter. She is going to open another chapter. And it is my prayer that the new chapter in her life will be much more eventful and fruitful than the chapter she's now closing.
For the celebrant, she owed all these successes to God, her colleagues and bosses with whom she worked.
I want to thank my boss, thank all those who have touched my life over the years. And I want to thank my DGs and all the directors. I couldn't have succeeded on this seat without their cooperation.
Deaconess Grace Isu-Gekwe joined the public service in 1984. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Now let's bring you sports with Bade Adele.